What's up everybody? In today's video we're going to be going over some of the news in the crypto world this week and what we can expect in the future. I did get an awesome little package here from EVGA. I got a bunch of 3060 Ti's filled to the brim. Unfortunately, this one is not for the mine. They're all going to my friends. Everybody wants to game and it's pretty hard to get them. I understand. It took me forever to get these things. I ordered them months ago and they finally showed up. So first things first, today Bitcoin is reaching back towards its all-time highs. We're looking at about $59,000 on Bitcoin. We're looking at about $1,856 on Ethereum, and Binance coins has been rising a bit too. That's at 272. A nice copy of Ethereum, but the fees are way lower, so people are kind of flocking over. We'll see what happens here after the ETH devs look into this. They're gonna have to look into something here. Got Felix the mining cat over here tuning in with us today. He loves crypto mining, the miners. He loves them. He likes the warmth most from them. He likes to sleep nearby them, so I gotta clean them out, make sure they don't get hair. But he's just here joining us today for the video segment. What can I say? Life with a cat when you do YouTube is interesting. Always jumping into my videos. Anyway, so let's head on to our first topic of discussion today. We're gonna be talking about AMD. AMD this week announced that their stance on crypto mining and how they feel about it on their cards. They don't care, which is awesome. It's great. You know, you buy the card, do whatever you want with it. Why should you limit what the card's gonna do? Now, with that being said, they're not going to pander to miners. They're gonna keep doing everything for gamers in mind, but they're not gonna care who buys the card. At the end of the day, a sale's a sale, and Nvidia should realize that by now, instead of pretending to say that they care about gamers when in fact they don't. We'll talk about that later today. So with all these shortages coming on, AMD doesn't really have a problem selling their cards. They're going off like hotcakes, but they're not going to try and limit who's buying them. Nvidia added their hash limiter to the 3060, which they accidentally released a driver for that doesn't have it. I don't know if it was something they did intentionally, something they totally forgot to do. At this point, it doesn't really matter. All that matters is they screwed up, and Nvidia is in a hot pot with consumers. Now, AMD on the other hand just came out straight up and said, we don't care who buys our cards. We're not gonna limit them in any way. Do what you wish with your card, and I think at the end of the day it should be like that. The new AMD cards that just came out, I'm going to try and get one of those and see if we can do some benchmarks on it, but from the looks of it, it's probably not going to be able to beat a 3060 Ti in performance per watt or per dollar. It looks a little bit more expensive. Now, on the topic of Nvidia, why they don't care, they're actually out to make more money. Weird. Now, granted, company needs money to run, but they lie about saying that they care about consumers when they actually don't. So, point in fact, the CMP30HX here is available. It's too much money in my opinion. It's $723 with 6 gigabytes of VRAM and 26 mega hash on Ethereum. Now, that kind of sounds a bit crazy to me because a 3060 Ti does roughly 60 mega hashes, and I think I bought most of them for sub $500 or sub $600, which absolutely insane. And then basically this is a clone of like a 1660 Super, which when those released were $229. This doesn't have any IO ports or anything. It's a straight mining card. So the limiter that they put on the 3060 is basically a deterrent to miners, so that miners are forced to buy these crazy expensive cards. So ultimately what Nvidia is trying to say is, hey miners, you can buy our cards, we don't give a crap if you buy our cards or not, but buy these ones instead because we make like quadruple the profit on them. Plus they're on an older node, so we can pump them out and nobody cares. But honestly, that's gonna be a hard sell for me. I don't see myself buying one of these. If anything, I buy one just to have, just to say that I got one, do some tests, maybe release some videos, see how it goes, and then I'll probably sell it. I don't see any point in keeping this card. So at the end of the day, Nvidia does not care. Don't believe into the hype or whatever they're trying to sell you. It's a load of crock. So on to the next thing. Here's what the graphics card might end up looking like. It's a Gigabyte one. I think it's actually what it looks like. Videocards.com always gets the first leaks on most of this stuff here. Like I said earlier, it kind of looks like a 1660 Super with 125 watt TDP and 26 mega hash, which is pretty crappy because my 3060 Ti does 60 mega hash roughly, and I think it's like about 140 watts to 130 watts depending on how it does and all this kind of stuff. So we'll see how it goes. Here's the SKUs available and when they're gonna come out. I'm really curious to see when the 90HX comes out. That's supposed to do 86 mega hashes. If this crappy card is $700, I'm worried to see what the 90HX is gonna be. Is it gonna be like $1,500, $2,000? That's insane. I might as well buy a 3080 or something and then I can resell it. The thing with these crypto mining cards is they're not good after a while. I mean, what are you gonna do? If crypto crashes, you can't resell your assets. Nobody wants crypto mining cards in a bear market because you can't use them to game. So, I mean, it's interesting. I was thinking they'd hopefully make them a lot cheaper. Something like this, I thought they'd come out with like $200, and at that point it'd be probably a good sell. At this point, no. So, that being said, AMD and Intel, or AMD and Nvidia are running out of cards. Intel is joining the space here now with graphics cards. Now, there's some teases going on from Intel. We don't know exactly when they're gonna come out now. I have no idea what kind of mega hash they're gonna get. Supposed to be comparative to a 3080 and type of like FPS performance for games, but I have no idea what it's gonna do for mining. As soon as this thing comes out, I'm gonna try to get my hands on it and we'll test it out and see if I can show you guys the mega hash and everything. I'm sure it'll be very weird at first. The drivers will probably be pretty crappy and I don't know how well it's gonna work with mining. But hopefully around March 26th, we're gonna find some more stuff out. They're probably not gonna release it. They're probably gonna give us a couple bits more detail or maybe give us an actual release date. It would be kind of cool. We get some more competition in the market. Prices can hopefully go down. Supply hopefully goes up, which is great for us as miners and great for any gamer out there. Because ultimately, the problem is not mining. The problem is the manufacturers are not keeping up. And I just want to be clear and say that everybody is hating on the miners, but really there shouldn't be any hate towards the miners because we buy these cards for business use. What's the difference between me buying it and somebody buying it to do software rendering? Sure, maybe I buy a couple more than a software mining person or a software kind of guy, but at the end of the day, it's business use. I buy my card, I can do whatever I want with it. You buy your card, you do whatever you want with it. If you want a game only, cool, go for it. If you want a game and at night you crypto mine to pay off your graphics card within a year or two, awesome. I think everybody should do that. But at the end of the day, there's no reason to be salty at miners. Everybody's pointing the blame at us when in fact it's Nvidia and AMD just can't keep up. We had the same problem happen around 2018 and there was no pandemic. So we can't even say that it's the pandemic's fault. Now granted, that's putting a huge strain on everything, but AMD and Nvidia need to step up their game here and just give us more cards. That's what everybody wants. Gamers, miners, people that have render farms, we all need these cards. Regardless of what we do with them, we're all in this boat together, so we shouldn't be screaming at each other. Instead, we need to be going directly to the problem and having them figure it out. That being said, I appreciate you guys tuning into this video. If you have any questions or comments or anything you want to talk about, put it down in the description. I'll be sure to read your comment and try and respond as soon as possible. Give me a thumbs up for Felix the Mining Cat, and we'll catch you in the next one.